An increase in the government budget deficit is most likely to result in an increase in which of the following? So in this question, we're told that there is an increase in the government budget deficit, and we're asked to identify which of the following factor will increase as a result. So to highlight this, let's first draw a loanable funds market graph. So for this curve, the x-axis represents the quantity of funds, or quantity of loans, and the y-axis represents the real interest rate, which will represent as IR. Now, in this case, in this graph, there are two curves. The upward sloping curve represents the supply of loanable funds, which we'll write as supply of loans, and the downward sloping curve represents the demand for loans. Now, because there is an increase in budget deficit, there will be an increase in the demand for loans, as the government will demand more loans. And this is because they're in a budget deficit, meaning that the revenue they earn is less than the money they spend, or expenses are less than their revenue. Because of this, they need to take out loans, so demand for loans will increase. So this can be represented by a shift to the right in the demand for loans. And as a result, the quantity of loans will increase, and the real interest rate will also increase, which we can see from this graph. Now, option choice A says the marginal propensity to consume. This is incorrect, because the marginal propensity to consume is something inherent to the people. It can't be influenced by the change in the government budget deficit. So A is incorrect. B, exports. This is incorrect because an increase in government budget deficits isn't going to influence the exports, as these two aren't quite related. C, the real interest rate. This seems to be the correct answer, because from this graph we can clearly see that a shift to the right of the demand for loans leads to a greater quantity of loans and an increase in the real interest rate. So the real interest rate does increase as a result of an increase in the government budget deficit. So C seems to be the correct answer. D, the money supply. This is incorrect because there are only 4 factors that influence the money supply, and they are all actions by the central bank. Actions by the government do not influence the money supply, so D is incorrect. E, the simple multiplier. This is incorrect because these multipliers are not influenced by the actions of the government. These are multipliers that are just multiplied by changes to the government spending, so E would be incorrect as well. Therefore, the correct answer is C.